What's up, what's up, what's up, world? So, we're going to be doing another album, Good Kid, M.A.A.d City by Kendrick Lamar. Let's get straight into it. Yes, so we have the first track on the album, Sherane. Alright, this is actually a pretty simple track, as you can hear. Doesn't really change much or anything like that. So let's start with this bass line. So of course, B flat, A flat, G flat, F. Alright, then E flat. So alright, then it goes back to the B flat, A flat, then goes to G, right? So G, right? Then you go to E flat again, G flat, and A flat, and you hang around on the A flat. So alright, so here comes the chords. The chords basically go like this. The same chord all the way through, and then so it just moves around. But since we have the bass in the left hand, we're going to eliminate the root in each of the chords. So the first chord is G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. Alright, with the bass. So alright, so the next chord is B flat, D, F, and A. So as I say, then when you land on the G with the B with the bass line, that's when you do that chord. Alright, so now we're going to do this chord, which is B, E flat, G flat, and B flat. And that lands on the A flat when you're alright, so that's pretty much it, guys. Let's move on. Alright, so Backseat freestyle, there isn't really much to break down. In the beginning, it's just a B flat and a B. You know, and then worse for when the bass comes in. You know what I'm saying? Martin had a dream. Martin had a dream. Kendrick have a dream. You know, that's pretty much it. So let's move on. Yes, so we have Money Trees. Very simple song as well. So it's in the key of E minor, right? So have E in the bass, right? Left hand, and then G, B, E. That's the first chord, E minor. Right? And then you move the bass to two F sharps or a G flat. And then you have A, D, F sharp. Right, in the right hand. So right, two G's in the left hand, B, D, and G. Alright, Alright, so that's alright. Then we're going to go C in the bass, and we're going to go G, B, E. Alright, which then goes to B in the bass and F sharp, A, D, and another F sharp, which is G flat. Alright, so we have yep. Alright, let's move on, guys. Yes, so we have Good Kid. Alright, third track on the album. Not that long, but you know, it has a little bit of finger work. So starts with the A, no, sorry, it starts with the F in the bass. C for strength, and a G, all in the same hand. Yes, I know that's a stretch. The reason why we need to do that is because the chord is big, so we need to give space for the right hand. So, alright, then we have A flat, C, and then G. Alright. And in between that, you're going to use these two fingers to move the top notes. So you go from G to F to E. Alright, so the chord pretty much stays. Here's where things change. So we're going to put B flat in the bass and A flat and B flat as well for strength again. So in the right hand, B flat, F, A flat, and B flat. So you move in between B flat and A flat. And after that, you move down to A flat. Alright, so now you go down to G in the bass, then you play D flat, E, A flat, and C. Yes, it's a lot. So then you come and play a C, and you play a C minor chord. So C, E flat, G, and C. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. right? This is where we are now. And you're going to do it again. And you can change the chord. So instead, C, E, A flat, and C again. Still C in the bass. And you just start out. Yep. Interesting song, right? Let's move on. So we have Drank. Thankfully, this song is a little simpler than the other one because it just repeats all the way through, right? So it's in the key of E minor again. So we're going to play, I know, very low in the bass is because of the 808s. So G, both G's, and then we play in the left hand G, B, and D. Right? For the next chord, all we're going to do is move the bass note to E. Everything else here stays. Alright? So the next bass note is B. What we're going to play in the left hand is G flat, A, and D. Alright? Then we move up to this, which is D flat. Alright, in the bass, 2 D flats. Then we have A flat, B, and E. That's pretty much it. So we have, alright, alright. That's all already, you know. So if we're going to do it again, it's pretty much this. Anyway, let's move on. So that's Real, right? Another pretty simple song in terms of there's not a lot of switch ups. So let's go into it. We have a E flat, 2 E flats, or you can just play one. But G sharp, B flat, G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. Right? That's the first chord. Then you go down to a D. Then we have F, B flat, C, and F. Alright? Alright, then the bass will go to F. Then we're going to play G, A flat, C. Alright, so alright, one more chord. So then the bass goes to C. And then left hand plays A, B flat, G, B flat, D, and that's it. And that's pretty much the song. Yep. So let's move on. So of course we have the classic B Don't Kill My Vibe, right? That's another simple one. So we start with D flats in the bass and F, A flats, C. No, sorry. the bass note isn't that. It's actually F. Alright? What's the bass line? So we're going to go with then A flat, then C. Alright? Alright? Then we play this. As you can see, I'm going in between the octaves of D flat. So it's just yeah, or you can play, you know. The only thing I would be adding would be a D flat right here. So, but you don't necessarily need to do that because you're already playing D flat right here. Anyway, but it pretty much repeats, and that's it. So let's move on. Yes, so we have the art of peer pressure, right? I just played the intro or the first part of the art of peer pressure, which is probably the most complicated, right? So we have B, G flat, and B in the bass. Then we have E flat, G flat, and B flat. Alright? That's the first chord. Then the next chord has D and F in the left hand. Then we have B flat, C, and F. Alright? So we have. Alright, so the next chord has two E flats in the bass, or one. Sounds like two. Anyway, so G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. So far we have alright, that's what we have. So moving on, we have A flats, two E flats in the bass, then we have B, E flat, G flat, and B flat. Alright. Then the next chord gives you B flat, A flat, and you can add a B flat if you want, but sounds mainly like this. So now you have D, G flat, A flat, and D flat. So we have, alright, and that D flat comes down to a B, and we come down to this chord that I said earlier. So this is pretty much it, alright. You have, then you have, and the second time around you go, alright, so we have, alright, so let's get into the second part. Second part pretty much goes like, alright. So essentially we play C, E flat, and G. We're playing the chords in the left hand this time, so we can play the melody. So now C, E flat. Alright, that's in the right hand. And that E flat on the top changes to a F. So alright. Then we move the chord. So that's B flat, D, F, and B flat. So in the left hand we play E flat and D. Then we move to A flat, 2 A flats, and an E flat in the middle. So, and then on the right hand we have C and F. Alright, so in all that's so yeah, that's pretty much our art of pressure. Let's move on. Alright, so we have Poetic Justice. Really nice song. Fairly simple-ish. So the intro, there's like a, 50-second intro. Pretty much goes like this. A, 2 A's and the bass, right? So we're going to play C, E, A, and B. But it's going between the A and the B. So that's alright, so then you go down to a G. So after you do that, now you go down to a F sharp. So, but when you go down to the F sharp, you're actually going to go E and D. So while the F sharp goes to E, you're going from E to D. So, right? Then C, you're going to play C again. C, then B. Yeah, right? That's pretty much how the intro goes, right? So then we go to the meat and potatoes, the verse. Alright. So in the left hand, so D flat, then A flat, then G flat. Alright. And in the right hand, you're playing B, D flat, E, and A flat. So but when you go to this note, you move the B in that chord to a A. So it's, you see how that moves from this? So, alright. Occasionally he does this arpeggio. So that's A flat, A, D flat, E, and A flat. Alright? Occasionally, it's not always there. So So then the next chord comes with A flat in the bass, C, E, and A flat. Alright, so that's oh sorry, it's not A flat. It's G flat, sorry. So A flat in the bass, C, E, and G flat. So alright. So that's pretty much the verse. So let me show you the difference with the chorus. Now you go back to this chord. Alright. You can get it, you can get it. You can get it, you can get it. Right? Same chords that I said before. Then you go to you can get it, you can get it, you can get it, you can get it. Just know. You know? So that's pretty much Poetic Justice right there. Just repeats. So let's move on. Alright, so we have Mad City. And yes, this is a short song, but there are two parts. So, of course, with the bass, D flat. And it's an 808, so you need all the strength you can get. Alright? So, you play A flat, G, A flat, A, and D flat. You know, and I guess you can go in between the octaves to make it more interesting, but that's pretty much it, right? For the first part of M.A.A.d City. So there's the second part, you know. So it's in A minor, right? It's pretty much the bass note is in A. Every once in a while he plays a E. Alright? And in the right hand it goes like this. A, C, E. Alright? And you shift the last two fingers from C and E to D and F. Alright? Then you lift off the E. So it's just A and C. Then you're going to move it from D and F to E and G. And then back down to D and F. Then back down to C and E. Alright? And there's actually a trill from E to F. Alright? So that's pretty much M.A.A.d City. Let's move on. Yes, so we have Sing About Me, Dying of Thirst. This has to be probably my favorite track on the album. and simultaneously the hardest one to figure out. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's get into it, right? So A in the bass, 2, right? Then we have right hand plays B, D flat, E, and A flat, right? So that's the first chord. The next chord has E flat in the bass, right? So that's the only note. Then we have B flat, D flat, E flat, and A flat, right? Then in between that, before we go to the next chord, there's 2 notes that's played. G flat and D flat. Alright, so which then comes to, so this is almost a polychord. No, it's not almost, it is a polychord. So we have D flat, E, and A flat, right, in the left hand, and B, E, and A flat in the other hand. It comes to a D flat minor 7. Alright, so we have, alright, so now to transition to the other part, this is probably one of the more difficult parts. Alright, while you have your sustain pedal on, as you can see, you're going to move from this to this, which is E, A flat, and B. And you're going to make another movement, right? You're going to move from, then you're going to do A flat, B, and E flat. So, right? Actually, it's this. Alright? And when you go here, you're going to go B flat, A flat, and D flat. That's a big stretch. If you can't do this one, just leave it out. So let's go again. Alright? So D flat, E flat, then B, and then D flat. Alright? And then that comes to B in the bass, F sharp or G flat, and B, right? And then in the right hand, B flat and D flat, right? So coming, let's start from over. So alright, let's do it one more time. Alright, so now changing the chord now, we're going to move to D flat, F, and A flat. Nothing in the right hand changes, just stay where you are. Alright, now we're going to play A flats, E flats, and A flat, or you can play G flat. It doesn't change the chord. Alright, so now on the right hand plays B, D flat, G flat, and B flat. Alright, so let's go from here. Alright, so for the next chord, this doesn't change, the left hand doesn't change, but the right hand does. So now we play C, E, A flat. Alright, C, E, A flat. Alright, so that's the last chord. Then we transition to G flat, then B. That goes back into this, you know? So that's the famous, you know? So here's how it goes. So let's do the other part of the song now. Okay, so it's a pretty short riff that kind of repeats and has some slight variations. So it's no, sorry. All right. Okay, so let's go. We're going to start with A flat, D flat. Alright? And that goes to E, then A flat. So, alright? And then it trickles down to E flats, G flats. So, alright? And then you move to a B flat and E flat. So, pause a little, then you play this again, then you go to D flat and E flat. So, alright. So we have then that goes to A flat and B flat. Then so right, then you go to B and E flat. Right, then A flat and D flat. So that's all of it. I know it's not complicated. I wouldn't say complicated, but it's hard to follow a little bit. But let me play it. Alright, and the bass line doesn't always happen. Sometimes it disappears. Alright, so we have alright, so pretty much you hold on the D flat until you go down to this. Then you finally move to B. Then when you go to here, you go to the A flat. So when you move to here, it goes to the A. And you go back to the A flat. Alright? And then it comes back to the D flat. Very strange kind of arrangement in the beat. But that's pretty much it. Let's move on to the last one. So we have the last song on the album, Compton. Ain't no Satan quite like mine, right? So let's start with the verse. The verse is probably the simplest part, quote unquote. It's almost the same thing, really. Okay, so we have G flat, D flat, and G, right? Then in the left hand we have A, D flat, E, and A flat. First chord, then we go to so A flat, E flat, A flat, right? B, E flat, and G. So and they just rap. Alright. So in the chorus, it's different, right? Starts with this chord, A flat in the bass, B, E flat, and G flat, right? Or you can just play it straight up, A, if you have someone singing in the background. So if you don't have someone singing in the background, you might have to play the melody. So it's these are all in the chord. right? Then we go to, right, D flat, right, and A flat, B, E, right? Again, arpeggio. But the only thing you're adding is the D flat. Then we go to G flat. Yep, that's pretty much it. So that's the end of the album. Remember to like, share, subscribe, suggest other albums or songs. I'm out.